good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
and we are back. It has been over a week, or about a week, I should say. No, it's been almost 2 weeks since we last met because we took off Memorial Day, and I won't dive too deep in it, but let's just say that for at least me, it was not as shiny and full of sun as I thought it would be. But we can dive
Mm.
into that later for sure. but just for the housekeeping things, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already to the channel as we dive deeper in it. But we want to earn your like, comments, and subscriptions. So if there is something that you like, go ahead and do it. If not, you're grown. It's all up to you. And then we're also going to drop down the link to call into the show. So go ahead. You see at the top there, that QR code right there. You could definitely hit that, call into the show, and share your thoughts with us. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to dive into the first conversation because we had a little technical difficulties, but we are rocking and rolling right now. And we want to hear your thoughts on this topic that has been in the news about Anthropic and their latest raise. Now, I'm going to pass over to Trey to tell you more.
I don't know why, but that was pretty funny, bro. But yes, y'all. Anthropic. If you don't know, which at this point you should, Anthropic is AKA Claude. All right, when we're talking about LLMs. Now, Claude or Anthropic, the parent company, they raised $65 billion, and they're now more valuable than OpenAI. So this is their what they would call their Series H raise. All right, I didn't even know they went down that far. All right. Normally you just hear about Series A, and then B and stuff like that, but they're on Series H. So people are still getting to the bag on them. And by them people, I mean for this Series H round, it closed on May 28th of this year, and it was led by Altimeter, Sequoia, which I know probably a lot of y'all know, Dragoneer, and Green Oaks. Samsung, SK Hinks or Hynix, and Micron also joined as strategic infrastructure partners. So uh they got all the big dogs in there, which I'm sure that's not a surprise, right? Especially when it's been this long. Now, as far as everything else is going on, $15 billion of the total from previously committed hyperscaler investments, including 5 billion from Amazon. They had a run rate revenue crossed $47 billion earlier this month, and that basically that's tripled in value since February. So y'all, they're literally doing numbers. All right, so this officially puts them ahead of OpenAI by valuation because OpenAI was last valued around $852 billion. So yeah, enough said about that. Here's why it matters to us as well. So this is the largest private AI funding round in history. Okay, Anthropic annualized revenue reportedly crossed $47 billion, and the company is now targeting an IPO window around October 2026. All right, this is why this matters to us. They're looking at an IPO around October 2026. So this may be the last. It's probably going to be the last major private raise before they end up going public. Okay. Now everyone is, obviously over the last couple of years, everybody's talking about AI models, but obviously this one is really based around the capital that this money has been that's being raised by these companies. So the companies right now in AI, they're winning at scale with the money that's raised, and we haven't seen this amount of money being raised before, obviously, right? When you look at that amount, um but it's because AI is becoming infrastructure business. So, and infrastructure is expensive, which we talked about in, I don't know, previous episodes before. So just to understand the flywheel around this space and around what's going on, obviously the money that they're raising, it buys compute power, compute is able to train better models, and then better models generate enterprise revenue, and then the revenue supports higher valuations, and then those higher valuations obviously attract more capital, which starts that all over again. And so, that cycle continues to repeat. And so, obviously, Anthropic, they've mastered this loop, right? Being on Series H of raising money, they've went through that loop a few times. And so, at this point, obviously, we're talking about the valuation. We're talking about them, beating OpenAI right now. Everybody knows everybody's switching over to Claude and all of this. But OpenAI, if we being real, OpenAI still owns most of the consumer mind share through ChatGPT, right? We've talked about this before when it comes to, do you have the namesake in your industry, right? Like, let me get that chapstick, or I need a Band-Aid. Those are not the brands, right? Band-Aid is the thing. So right now, when people think about AI, ChatGPT, for the ones that have used it, not real mega users, I'm talking about average consumers. All right. Also, XAI is reportedly targeting a $2 trillion valuation. Investors entered at a 965 billion valuation. They have very little room for error. You know what I mean? And then the private market right now, valuation, they don't always translate into public market success. So, uh, history, obviously, we've seen plenty of companies that have raised money at crazy valuations, and then later on, they struggled once the public investors started basically demanding results. Like, we need our money. So anyway, at the end of the day, Claude is one of the biggest products being heavily adopted across enterprise. Obviously, that's where they uh, put their focus around enterprise companies, AI companies. The AI companies that your employer works with are, they're in this arms race as well. And then the future of AI is probably going to be determined by much of the funding and the infrastructure, as well as those technical breakthroughs as well. So, that's why they're raising all this money so that they can get this stuff done. All right. So yeah, I mean, bro, at this point, they announced. I mean, with this announcement, AI, they've officially entered $1 trillion territory, and it's fun to watch. It is fun to watch, bro.
Yeah, it's rare air for sure. I want to just let a couple things go because you're probably like, "Hey, Trey's talking. What's going on?" There's a poll that we're going to drop right now in a few minutes. But if you want to call in and share your thoughts, the QR code to the top left of your screen, you can use that to call into the show as well. But yeah, there's a lot that we can discuss here. I'm going to drop a poll that I wanted you guys to look at, and you guys could put in the comment section what your thoughts are on that. Would you buy Anthropic stock on day one of the IPO? Because they are having an unprecedented run. Like this is quite the feat, and this shows you how quickly the landscape can change. Because I think I even mentioned it to you that my company moved off of ChatGPT and onto Anthropic. Well, Claude, I should say, and they love it. They're like, "Oh, what could this button do?" It's one of those things.
Hmm.
So we are seeing a mass adaptation of this, not just by uh, people that traditionally used to code, but everybody in an enterprise, and now they're building AI agents that are doing things for them. It's a really, if you haven't explored Claude, it's a really powerful tool. I would like to describe it as ChatGPT, Manus, a whole bunch of things put together in one, where it can literally open up web browsers for you, and it acts as an agent on your behalf. If you give it commands to and permissions to, it can literally work on your behalf. So there's a lot of different cool features that it has. But man, the fact that it is almost evaluated at almost a trillion, like the money that people are raising nowadays are insane. I think we mentioned Sierra before, almost raising $1 billion in their fund in their round. Now
Hmm.
seeing 65 billion in a Series H, I'm like, I didn't know they're going that far either. But I guess you go all the way to Z at this point.
Yeah.
The valuation.
If
That
the
was a joke.
company is good enough.
the company's good and rough, right? But let us know in the let us know in the comment section what you would think. Would you invest in this company as soon as they are expanding it? Their target is October 2026, so that's this year. So you got a couple months to save up your coins. Who knows what's going to come out as? But that is a quite hefty amount of money that they're raising so far, and the valuation looks to be insane. But I don't think there's any stopping them or slowing them down right now, only because now their enterprises are adopting them, like we talked about, and it's become the valuation. It's grown, right, and it's only going to continue to grow as more people adopt Claude. And there's some organizations that are really, really doubling down and saying, "Hey, there's some services that we use from third-party vendors that we actually do not want to. We want to consider building ourselves because of how powerful Claude is." Now, time will tell if if that would be enough to suffice for enterprise change, because it needs other things as well when you're building out a customer-facing applications and things of that nature. However, that's where a technical person could really come on and share their thoughts on it. So if you want to go ahead and drop a call on the show and let us know your thoughts on it, let us know right down here in the comment section, or you can use the QR code above. But would you like to buy Anthropic stock on day one? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. And while I do that, we got OTTO in the building. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Thank you for rocking with us this morning. We appreciate you as always, and we're glad to be back after taking a break from Memorial Day weekend and recognizing those folks. But yeah, no, this was a story that's been out for a little bit, and it's really kind of one that we could definitely pause here and talk about. So let us know your thoughts in the comments section as well. Would you buy Anthropic stock on day one? Now, for me, I'm not gonna even. I'll probably say I want to say yes. I know, but a lot of people. So I don't know if it's something that it's wiser to wait a little bit or just to
Yeah.
go in on day one, because to
Uh,
me it's like if you go on day one, you're probably buying at the highest price,
yeah.
and and you need the thing little taper off a bit. Um, that's just me though. That's just speaking for what I'm thinking. But I don't know, Trey. What's your thought?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I personally I wouldn't, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't invest in the stock. It's just normally day one is kind of volatile. Normally, if you're not like if you're not able to get that super like right in, and sometimes it starts off crazy high and then go dips. So yeah, it's just you gotta really know that company and know what the people are talking about. The analysts are talking about on what it's going to start off at, like where it's going to open at.
Yeah,
And if that's it, from there, you're looking at, all right, do I think this is going to stay up, or do I think it's going to jump up and then drop off? Those people who are going in for the quick money grab, like, and then, so normally I wait, I ain't gonna lie, I do. Just because you normally see it do like this, and then
yeah,
and then it'll do whatever. So
yeah.
yeah,
$10 a
nah,
share. Wait, $10 a share. Sure.
no,
That'd be
not
good.
even. So, I mean,
Trying to be Bitcoin right now.
sometimes more than that.
Yeah, it'd be like, especially with the valuation this high, it's probably be an arm and a leg when it first comes out. But time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. If it's something that you're gonna buy into right away, or if you're gonna hold off on that, we definitely want to hear from you. And would love to hear your opinion on that as well. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us again on this episode. I'm wondering something about the story that I wanted to kind of touch on is that the revenue crossed $47 billion earlier this month. I let that sit there for a second, because they raised 65 billion, but according to them, the revenue crossed 47 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still private. Like I just want like to just to wrap our mind around that for a second. Me speaking personally, there's, and I can be wrong. Put in the chat how many private companies that are making that kind of bank. you know,
I
um,
mean,
there's
it
not
might
many of
it
them.
I was about to say it might be some because they are private, but
Yeah,
we know for sure it's not many.
yeah,
That we know.
that is nuts. That is nuts. So that's a to me that's a crazy good sign. But I'm just saying, like that's a lot. And then oh man, so the potential is there for sure. The potential is there for sure. Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are, and we'd love to hear from you for sure. Uh, we have OTTO that says Claude, have mercy. What a time to be an employee there right now. Yeah, man, it's across the board though. I'm agreeing with you, man. It's like across the board right now where there's so many different tech companies, AI companies that if you're an employee with them at the right time, that buyout is look that when they go public, that is looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty nice, and it's
Hmm.
and so that's another thing that we maybe we could talk to somebody who has been through it as well. I know there's a couple of people I know of in the past who has been through it where a company, they've been a part of an exit and it was rewarding. Um, but yeah, I would definitely love to have somebody who has that experience right now to come on and share the show. But yeah, being a Claude employee right now, looking sweet.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You going to work every day whistling.
I'm gonna retire soon. I'm gonna retire soon.
Oh, for real.
Like, it's like I'm fully vested. Oh yeah, I pay my dues. I'm gonna retire soon. Um, yeah, that's crazy if you think about it. Like that the opportunity is there to possibly at least if not retire, have a huge chunk of change. A huge chunk of change. So yeah, y'all. Let us know your comments. We're gonna keep rolling with the show. But if you have any other comments that you want to share about this topic or any other ones, you can call in. The QR code is at the top. That's for you to call into the show. So go ahead and call in if you choose to. But we're gonna go into our next segment, which is called the Tech Wire. If you're not familiar, the Tech Wire. This segment is brought to you by SecureTheBadge.com, where they have the latest and greatest when it comes to tech events, business events, things that you will probably find interesting, and also things that might be in your neck of the woods. So, today is June 1st, so we're all the way in June right now. And there's different events on SecureTheBadge.com that you possibly want to check out for yourself. So, if I go down here, there's Atlanta Tech Week that's happening next week. This week, right now, is New York Tech Week that's happening. Then we have Obsidy that's happening as well on the 18th. There's so many things. STEM Noir is happening later this month as well as One of the World Summit. Texpo Dallas is coming later in June. And we also have Build North Tech's Black Tech Symposium and HBCU on entrepreneurship. There's so many different things that are happening between the month between the summer of June, July, and August. Definitely in August. August has a ton of events. So check it out for yourself. Go to securitybatch.com after the show, and you can see for yourself what is going on there. All right. So definitely check out securethebadge.com. So yeah, the next part of the show, we got something interesting for you. But before we even get into there, man, how was your weekend? It's been almost 2 weeks. How's it been, brother?
Yeah, man. Weekend's been pretty good. Not much happened though. It's just one of those, out and about with the family. Also, tried out a new wing spot because basically, what was that? Thursday, my wife wanted wing
Mm.
stop. Okay, and they was no good. They were no good. I don't know. It wasn't tasting right.
The
So
lemon pepper wings weren't good.
nah, man. I don't know. They getting real huge. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I mean the wings getting like
Oh,
this
the wings are
big.
working out and they get buff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Stuff start looking like that. You don't really want to mess with it. It's like I'm gonna eat this, but
the,
I don't know.
the wings are asking you if you will eat your cornbread.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. They didn't really taste good. So we wanted to double back. So yeah, over the weekend we went to this other spot, which we had went to a high school graduation party for a friend of ours son that previous weekend, and the wings was slamming. So we asked him what those were about, and it was this food truck called 2020 Wings. It probably was. You know what's crazy, bro? Ralph, I didn't think about that. It probably was a Rick Ross wing stop, And since he's doing a lot of hating right now, he sounds like a major hater. I know you from Florida, but he ain't sounding. I don't know. He's I don't know. Either way, it might have been him. You know, the sourness from him and Drake just is oozing inside of his wings, and it didn't taste good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was lemon pepper. It was lemon pepper, but uh, but nah. We yeah, it just wasn't good. So we ended up going to this spot called 2020 Wings. It's a food truck, small, in the hood. Yeah, but hey, we got in there, got up out of there, and it was good, man. It was slamming just like it was at the party. So yeah, that was pretty much it though. Yeah, Saturday didn't do too much, just a lot of editing and stuff like that. But that's it, man. Sunday went to church, came on back. But yeah, I didn't think about that, Ralph. Rick Ross is oozing into the wings, man. And he gotta stop it. He gotta stop it. You know, I barely heard a clip. He said he didn't listen to the Drake album, right? Which that's cool. That's cool. But Patrick Beck David, he asked him like, how many songs did you? He's like one. He's like he went to the first episode, the first song, and it was trash. I'm like, come on, man. First of all, you probably listen to more than the one, and how it's trash off of just one song. I don't know. It was just it seemed like his interviews is a lot more about him right now than his projects and he got a book or something. I don't know. Anyway, my bad, Ralph. I like it. I do like him though, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the original question for the podcast folk. What flavor was it? Rick Ross Wingstop? That's what Ted Coach Ralph said.
Yes,
That set it
yes.
off. Ted Coach Ralph also said, "How long do you have to wait for food? Everything now measured against Joseph's SLA." That's right.
Nah,
Below that 2 hours.
no, bro. When I went to the new spot, now I will say I was first in line, so they was getting everything set up. But it still ended up being about 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes. They had a good little, table set up outside of the food truck. So we sat out there. But it was 20 minutes. Everything was hot. I knew it was gonna be good when I saw some of the grease, a little bit of the grease on the outside of the bag. You know what I mean? When I'm walking, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to let me know. All right, they know what they're doing. But yeah, it was about 20 minutes. The fries was good. I was like, yeah, all right, this might be the new spot. This might be the new spot. But OTTO, I don't know. Joseph, his mic might be off or something. I don't know.
That's why he says, "All right." Oh yeah, my mic was tripping there.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
Trey said he had the wings from Frank's Red Hot's commercial, the ones that want to fight you back. That's why they were so buff. They're like, "Hey,
bro.
listen, you eating me."
I ain't gonna lie, man. Them Wingstop wings, they getting kind of big, bro. Oh no, steroids.
Rated as a 5. Does the first song verse "I was Aiden Ross" before Aiden Ross? Probably why I think the wings were salty.
Yeah. I was eight Ross. No, and it is true. Like, come on now. We know you go to his Billboard charts right now. The ones with Drake on there, the ones at the top.
Oh man. He was coming for everybody. Apparently, he was coming for everybody.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Oh man, but yeah, no, this is definitely something we'll definitely dive in for sure. That Teco was hilarious because he's like Teco Strauss said he speaks like he's not muted though. I didn't see myself muted at first.
I tried to tell him, but then I was like, he kept going. I'm like, is it me? Because I had some trouble earlier, so I'm like, it might be me. Let me be quiet.
Yeah, I actually saw it It was good at first, then I went back to red. So I don't know. Maybe it's something tripping on my end. But listen, y'all, we could definitely hopefully we'll make it through the show without more technical difficulties. But we definitely wanted to chop this up with you. We want to talk about another thing that happened that I thought was pretty cool. Before I do that, it's been 2 weeks. So my weekend, last one, unfortunately, was uneventful because of the rain. So we didn't do anything on Memorial Day outside.
It was
But
raining here too.
yeah, it was rain, rain, go away song singing time for us. Nothing happened. This weekend was cool. The weather was better, a little windy, but I was definitely happy for the warmer weather and to get outside, have the kids eat outside. And one of these places over here, actually, you might know it, Stewart's back in the day. They had a outside place that you could eat and stuff. It's like a drive like a drive up, like a car hop, and you just drive up and they give you the food right there, old school
Oh,
style.
like Sonic.
Yeah. And but it's like the classic Stewart's, like the Stewart's root beer. They have like burger fries, like the traditional American food. And then kids I got a chance to eat outside with their friends, and that was good. And so I'm looking forward to these New York Knicks versus the Spurs. That's what I'm telling you right now. It's gonna be San Antonio versus
you see the colors. You see the colors I got on,
the black
baby.
and gray.
You see them?
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so normally I would be rocking that, but I gotta go with the orange and
Hilarious.
blue this time because I'm in
Hilarious.
New York and I want to see myself. I want to live another day. You don't play around with these streets in New York, and I root for these Knicks. But yeah, man, let's dive into the next conversation because I know the chat will go crazy talking about the New York Knicks and the Spurs. So if y'all want to go crazy about that, we can definitely talk about it. But man, Google's Gemini Omni. Have y'all seen this already? If you have, let me know in the chat. But this is basically, if you haven't, Google's Gemini Omni is definitely different than VO3. And we're gonna dive into why it's different. Also, if you have tested out already, would love to hear your thoughts on how you leverage it or used it for this conversation. But basically, yeah, it's nuts. So I'm gonna share my screen real quickly so you can see what I'm talking about as I'm talking here. I stumbled across this video on Instagram and I was like, oh, this is a little different. So, first of all, this launched May 19th for those who did not know. And this is also techstartup.ai, their Instagram page. So, I want to give credit to where credit is due. Basically, Omni collapses what used to be VO3, like the video, plus Imagine, like the image generator, and plus separate audio into one model, generating anything from any input starting with video. So, this launched May 19th at Google, their latest showcase. Omni Flash rolled out the same day inside the Google app. So the unified multimodal text, image, audio, and video all go in one right now. In video comes out. And the killer new feature is that it's conversational editing. So you can't, I don't know if you can hear this, but
Waymo.
this person is
Yeah,
basically
we can hear it.
Oh, cool. So he's basically imagining this.
Waymo, getting some real world training data. Downtown New York. Waymo, downtown New York. Waymo, getting some real world training data. Downtown New York.
So basically, he's imagining it in matte black, or like, let me see it, and then he basically kind of converts it for him. Every clip carries Google Synth ID watermark, verifiable in the Gemini app and Google Search. So it ships inside Search, Gemini app, Flow, and YouTube, not a standalone product. So it's pretty wild. They're also having people that have taken paper and say, "Hey, listen, I'm a $5 million Pokemon card." So you got to have to those watermarks are needed because otherwise people be charged like people be scamming people basically. And then this one right here, someone decided to go to Middle Earth and go see Frodo and folk. And it looks so real. It looks so real. It takes you into that world. So it's pretty dope. And again, everything is just moving at a quick speed. So you could try on and test items to see how it looks on your body. Again, you could this is an AI can fake a crowd as well. So you could use this for any like video editing and things of that nature, as well as translate audio in multiple different languages, as well as the person in it. So
into my skin. I highly recommend it.
So look for commercials to possibly be using this more in the future as well. A lot of things going on here. Generate drone POV footage from sketch camera path. So all this is stuff that we started seeing already, but now they're combining into one place, and people are utilizing it in various different ways, as you can see here. And so, just want to kind of share this with you because it's definitely. I was looking at Higginfold. Like, there's a lot of different like AI companies that are releasing or helping you to generate movies and things of that nature nowadays at a fraction of the cost. This is going to be part of the conversation as well. Like all these tools are going to start to work together to really provide an um, amazing user generated content, and also in affect filmmaking and affect a lot of commercials and a lot of different things that we use currently. So, want to just kind of talk about the difference if anybody kind of still is unfamiliar or feels kind of odd about it. Like, what's the difference between Omni and VO3? VO3. So basically, again, unified text, image, audio, video in one model, conversation, multi-turn editing. So basically, I don't want this. I want to try something else. You could do that. Best for storyboarding, mood board to video iterations. And it's capped at 10 seconds. These for Omni, but it ships to 2 billion users on launch day. That was definitely a big difference there. But where it wins is in the workflow flexibility and also in world knowledge versus VO3, which is dedicated video only model, 4K output, clips of 60 seconds, so it's a bit more. But best for cinematic hero shots and final renders, better dialogue sync and lip sync. So it's the wins on the raw cinematic video quality. So I'm not saying get rid of it completely, but definitely it's something to look into and it's interesting. So the bottom line is that VO3 high performance camera, right? Gemini Omni is a full production studio. One takes a better single shot, the other handles a whole creative process. So definitely something that you should look into for yourself. Let us know. Are you using AI video tools in your work yet? And which ones are you using if it's not VO3 or if it's not Omni? So Coach Ralph actually tried it. Okay, cool. I would love for you to come on the show and share your thoughts if you have the time. But if you don't, totally get
He
it.
already sharing them.
He's always
Let's
sharing
keep
them in the
going.
conversation.
Yeah.
I made a video with Lady last week about it. Companies hype it up, and then you try it, and it's like, he said the difference so far is how Google names it. That is, in other words, it's not worth the hype. That's
He
what it
said,
is.
in other words, it's mid. I actually haven't tried it yet, so I need to hop on it and check it out. You know, sometimes that is the case though, for real. Like sometimes, you know, these things come out and they're not fully there
Fleshed out.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like what you see from individuals or whatever. This is like these are prompts that they did, you know, 20,000 iterations on, and then they finally got this one, you know, straight up to work. And then, all right, let's
Yeah.
put this over here. Let's do another 20,000. All right, we got this one. So, you know, they have unlimited, you know, iterations. And then we get it, and then we have like 5, you know, in our package, and then it doesn't work like they said it would. So we'll see. I actually don't know. So I'm just going off of what Tech Coach Ralph said, but it looks like if it can do what it shows it can do, it looks amazing. And it does have some a space in the workflow if it can, you know, work it right. But 10 seconds is obviously it's not a long time, so you'd want to use it. Yeah, you want to use it you know, in the right spots. Like there's space for it for sure if it can work. So I don't know.
Yeah, but this also brings up another thing too that I was thinking about real recently. There's been of course we see that a lot of times a heightened amount of not necessarily on public broadcasts as much as it is like on, you know, game apps and things of that nature, but a high rise in AI commercials. Pretty much 90% of them are like AI commercials at this point. And then we're also seeing a rise in short content or movies that are AI generated and are starting to look better and better and better. And I found myself kind of following a series and one or two of them, and I was like, you know what? Do people really care about celebrities being in a movie anymore? Or is it going to just be like, listen, I'm going to be my own studio, create my own content that I want to see. And if I share it with people, I share it with people, whatever. but I'm the one. I want to see certain things. I can literally create my own
bro.
myself. I think
Ralph. No, you're right, bro. Before you get to that one, before you get to that Ralph one, you're so right. I think so. Like, I don't think people care as much, right? Like, even still, there's movies that I watch now that where maybe there's like one person you recognize or two, but you don't really know from where. But they're really good, you know. Yeah, Ralph just said it, right? Like most Netflix and Amazon originals are randoms, and he's right. Like there was one I just watched. It was about a police officer and this like uh this guy who he basically is a thief, but he's also like a pillar in the community. And the police officer is like, he's set on him, you know, like that's all he's thinking about all day, but he never can get him. So he looks crazy to all his police friends and all that kind of stuff. But they're on like a cat and mouse chase throughout the whole thing. And it was a great series, bro. I mean, I'm trying to think, maybe one person or two people were recognizable in there, but like, I watched the whole thing. I didn't care. I can't think of the name of it though. So, but either way, it was good. But he's right. Most of the Netflix and Amazon originals are random people, and I don't think so. Also, yeah, for the people who can create it, or you know, can create things, I mean, you know, they are okay with just creating what they want to see, and do it. We saw it with the GTA sizzle reel, right? The GTA sizzle reel. We saw that. I've watched a guy who
GTA 6 is back.
You got GTA, you got Dragon Ball Z. I've seen like people. I mean, people are doing what they want to see, and I think more and more as these things get longer, right? As far as what you can create, as it gets longer, as it gets better, I think I think we talked about it like a year or some ago, where you know eventually it'll get to where all right, you know, I think I want to watch a dramedy, you know, where no, not a dramedy. My bad. Change that. I think I want to watch a suspense, but make sure there's so many turns that I never know what's gonna happen. And then at the end, it all comes together and everybody played a role in making this final like and they're gonna be able to do that, and then boom, it's there. And they're gonna do that every day, you know. So
OTTO said, Trey, you talking about Nemesis?
Yeah, Nemesis. That's what it was. Yeah. OTTO, no, man. He know. Yeah, but it was Nemesis. Yeah, and that, bro, it had me. I was locked in, but didn't know nobody.
Tech Coach Rouse says a fully AI movie coming out June 10th. Dreams of Violet 2K budget, no real actors. I'm curious to see and just analyze this. Like,
yeah, and
honestly,
I'm sure he probably watched the Higgsfield joint as well. You know,
I was just about to share this one. Yo, it's funny. You literally keep going.
No, I mean their budget was way higher than $2,000 though, but they went all. I think they were making one for Cannes or Cons, however you say it.
Yeah, they were making one for that one. That was a different one. But this one right here, I saw the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, all AI, and it fit. And this is Higgsfield, and I was like, man, where is season 2?
Really, I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah.
This one is dope. This one is dope. And it's just like it's almost like Gundam Wing in a way, but they kind of like go through like a series of finding these aliens and stuff like that. And I was like, this is all AI. This is like AI generated, even the motions, like everything. Like it's definitely, you could tell some parts of it like, okay, they're working on it, but a lot of things have adjusted pretty well. So like I was like, yeah, this is very, very interesting where this is going to lead to and stuff like that. But like we're talking about it, man, there's a lot of changes for sure. There's other series as well, like on Higgsfield on the website. This was Sea Dance 2.0. A lot of different things to explore in regards to these shows. Tech Host Ralph said the news anchor was grilling him on the fact he didn't spend millions to produce it with real actors, and which is when you're disrupting things and you're changing things around in the industry, and the people see like, hey, you try to take money away from people, especially they're gonna definitely have something to say about that for sure.
Yeah, and I think that gives them, the real actors, an opportunity to do something about it as well. I was watching it was a podcast with two of the actors from Power. I can't even think. It was the young black kid, and then there's a white kid, but they have a podcast that they do, and they were on with, bro, I don't know nobody's name. That's bad. I'm telling this story. I have no clue what their name is. But if y'all remember the movie Dope, the movie Dope, there was a black kid, the main character. He was the
Oh
one
yeah.
that they were interviewing. He was the one that they were interviewing, and he was talking about this very thing. He was like, yeah, actors are going to need to start doing different things, and there's stuff out there for them. He was talking about AI and, possibly doing something with streamers and understanding that,
Oh, Shamik
like,
Moore, is it Shamik Moore
yeah,
you
Shamik
talking about?
Moore. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
Shamik
did
Moore.
a pod with Shamik Moore, and Shamik Moore, he was just saying like, yo, yeah, these actors are gonna need to start doing other things. And they also have the opportunity to, create what they want, and their budgets are gonna be super low, so they'll be able to um like create these movies or short films, but not have the huge budgets, but they will be able to control, everything about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yes, you're right, bro. When anytime you're disrupting industries, somebody's gonna have something to say.
I think could be when we talked about his deal, I think that is something that I think he set the trend, honestly. If you don't remember, this is back in the day, we talked about it earlier late last year, I think, or earlier this year, where he basically sold like his likeness to a company for $975 million for an AI
Who
twin.
did that?
I'll show you right now. So basically we talked about it last year.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I remember.
I'll share it for everybody else who doesn't see, but basically, yeah, for $975 million, he said, hey, I have an AI twin that you could use and whatever, and so on and so forth. That might be the play right there, where it's like, listen, and no, not to downplay what he does. He has the largest reach on social media. However, there's a lot of, like let's say Denzel Washington said, hey, you know what? I'm fitting to retire. You can take my user likeness. Here's the criteria of what you can use it for. Here's the criteria of what you can't use it for. But you could go ahead and use that bad boy. And so that way, not just for myself now, but my family could be good, and we can make tons of money moving forward. They're probably gonna do the same thing with. I mean, they try to do the same thing with with music already, right? People that have passed away, they're like, oh, they got a brand new hit coming out. You never
Yeah,
heard
you
this
gotta do it
Tupac
right.
Shakur song?
No, you gotta do it right.
But this is definitely where you own the likenesses or they sell the likenesses, especially if it's a situation where they probably passed away, whatever. That might be the norm, and so now you can see. I mean, I don't see Denzel Washington breakdancing and stuff like that, but you if it fits, if it aligns with the brand, it'll be probably stuff like that, that you could probably see stars in the future. I think that's the future, honestly. That and just these AI videos are getting better and better.
Yeah, and I told y'all, what was that Black Mirror? The show Black Mirror, they already showed us, right?
Yeah.
They showed us with that Salma Hayek one, where Salma Hayek has sold her likeness, and they were creating this TV show, except the TV show was kind of like real life type. Either way, they kind of showed us.
Yeah, they did. They said, hey, look at the glimpse of the future. I actually gotta see that episode again. That was a good episode.
That was a great episode. Me too. I gotta see it again too.
I was like on the edge of my seat with that one.
Something about Joan, the title. Something about Joan.
And then she's like, why are you following me? I won't go too much detail here. See, it's been a long time, so you should have saw it already. So if I'm spoiling for you, I'm sorry. But if the movie is good enough, they won't need famous people. Netflix proved that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm there with you. There's some, there's some shorts right now that I'm watching. I'm like, oh, I know none of these people are real. I'm engrossed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like like it's like the entertainment side of it. Like if it's entertaining, if it's my genre that I like, if it's what I like, do I really care? And I think for over the last few years, we've I don't know, slowly been getting into that part of it, right? Like even when you look at celebrity has changed a lot. Like it's not really these commercials that they have on it. They don't really have commercials. I mean, they still do it, but in my mind, they're like wasting money. But like you don't see the commercials that hit the most are not the ones that have like the biggest movie stars and all that kind of stuff like they used to back in the day.
Yeah, Super Bowl commercials and stuff.
Yeah, it's because the people like they have different stars that they like, or it also just doesn't matter anymore. But speaking of commercials, to go back before we close out to what Tech Coach Ralph said on Roku, this local car dealership is so bad at their AI commercials, bro. I also on Roku when I'm watching it, I'm trying to think. Oh, it's not a car dealership; it's a car like like a Jiffy Lube. It's like a car maintenance show where you can get your oil changed and stuff like that. Oh my god, the AI commercial! I was just like, fam, this is so bad. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are wasting money. I'm not even gonna lie. But as they say on the ad side world, I mean, if you're still seeing an ad multiple weeks in a row, it's working. Like nobody just really wastes money when they're running ads. So I'm like, I keep seeing it and it's been months. I'm like, it must be working. I guess.
Oh, well, as bad as it is, nothing can beat Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Have you ever seen that commercial?
I don't think so.
Okay. No. I gotta this is for those who don't know.
No.
It's hilarious. Brace yourselves.
First of all, barbecue and foot massage. I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, trust me. You will definitely look at it differently after this. If y'all haven't seen this. Hold on.
Barbecue and foot massage. Jones Barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat. America loves to eat. So why not open up somewhere America can sit down, enjoy a meal, and get their feet rubbed? We'll fry anything you want for $5.99. As long as it's friable or edible, we're going to make it deliciable. We will fry parts of the chicken you didn't even know was friable. The beak, the feathers, we'll fry candy bars. All that European stuff that you don't really normally eat, we'll bring it down here and fry it for you. Ask McDonald's to fry something other than what they normally fry. Guess what you're going to get? Nothing. If it fit through the dough, I'll put it in the fryer. Hell, this is a dinosaur. All our meats are gently tenderized to their optimum deliciousness. We got fine dinosaur meat. Took my money, made me pay child support. Come on down here and get you a slice. Once they get your social security number, it's over. Motivated. So friends, let's just decide you don't want no barbecue.
No.
That's fine too. Why not let one of my foot specialists or myself perform our magic? Look at that. Don't they look wonderful? If you really pay me enough, we'll massage your feet in any of these sauces also. Success is the rule down here. Jones, good ass barbecue and foot massage. So go ahead and give me a call or find us on the worldwide internets at the new website. That's JONES, big ass truck rental and storage.com/Jones. Good ass barbecue and foot massage.html.
Excuse me. No way. All right, I'm gonna stop there. But you get the picture.
Ain't no way.
Listen, it can't be any worse than that. Well, actually, it could be, but that was pretty bad.
That ain't no way that's real. Is that real, bro? There was no way that was real. That was a Dave Chappelle skit.
It was it was a real, but it's hilarious to me. It's still hilarious. It was Dave Chappelle, but it was a classic. I had to, as soon as you said commercials, I had to like bring that up. And somebody even said in the comment section on the YouTube said AI could never create a masterpiece like this. So, oh man. Anyway, y'all, we just want to leave you with a little laughter there as we wrap up the show. We do have also that good old. He said, "Don't blame it on AI." No, that's definitely not AI. There, that is all original human being creation and
100%.
ingenuity. Yeah. So, just want to throw out something before we go on our Brown Box Special. If you're not familiar, the Brown Box Special is the segment of our show where we talk about stories of people either quitting, getting fired, or straight up being laid off from their work. So this one is coming from Reddit, and it basically says, "Lost my job and don't know if I should get another one. Anyone else victim of the federal government cuts here? I lost my job about 9 months ago. I have suffered so much from including trauma and grief given the years of work it took me to get to this level. My entire industry is actually decimated. However, being an SAHM was never in the cards, and I am now finding it both hard, depressing, and somehow I feel like I don't have time for anything else. Basically, a stay-at-home mom was what she was saying. I'm trying to consider new paths, but it's not leading anywhere. I'm already in therapy. Please remind me of why again should I be working? For context, we have 3 school-age kids, and we are getting on by on one income for now. My whole identity is gone, but I also feel like it's an uphill battle to get a new job in this economy. What's even the point? According to this Reddit writer, some people might be feeling the same way. Like, it's tough out in these streets. What's even the point? What's even the point? Well, Tech Coach Ralph said here, before that, Tech Coach Ralph says, a government job is not an industry.
100%.
It's not an industry. So what did you do in your government job? Maybe there's an industry that aligns with
Yeah.
that. And then you got to upskill with AI as we're learning.
Yeah, it is tough out here in these streets, but
Oh yeah, absolutely.
what I would say to her, it's one of those things, like, and I think a lot of people suffer from this, and it's where it can hurt you because you can see she was like, I did so much stuff. Number one, what did you do to get up there? That's number one. Some stuff is not worth doing to get to the level. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And you can interpret that however you want. But number two, what you see is there's a lot of people who confuse what they do with who they are. And
Yeah.
when you do that, when who you are becomes what you do, then your whole identity is in that. When the company does things like lays you off, or you get fired and you can't get back in that thing, and your identity is based in that, well, yeah, you're gonna be in therapy. You're gonna down spiral. You're gonna do, because your identity was in something that wasn't what it was supposed to be in anyway. You aren't what you do. That's a part of who you are, but that's not who you are. Who you are is probably that mother, right? It's probably a Christian, or a father, a dad, husband, whatever. Like, that's who you are, not what you do. And I like what Ted Coach Ralph said as well here in the comment. Homeschool mom is a great career. It is. And you could probably find some ways to make that do what it do, as in creating that academy for your kids. And then, maybe there's funding there, maybe, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But like, there are different things as well. Also, downgrading your lifestyle and getting a job. Both real big things to do. So, but the thing that I got out of that one is that piece, just when you connect what you do to who you are, always is probably 9.5 times out of 10 going to be a demise situation.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, especially looking at the story, because she's talking about she said they're getting by on one income, so they're not like suffering. But she's talking about mostly her mental health, her being in therapy because she's depressed, and on all the different things, and not seeing value at being a stay-at-home mom, and really kind of like feel like she's like almost like a midlife crisis. I don't know her age, but in a crisis, right? And so, like what you said is really important. Is like remembering who you are is not what you do is essential. Trade with the tech coach Ralph said trade with the free therapy session.
That's
Yes.
hilarious.
Who said it's free though? We have these GoFundMe's right now. So if you want to, not kidding. But no, it's definitely from the heart. But it's true. Like I think a lot of times we all might maybe caught up in it once or another where it's like, yeah, I do X, Y, and Z. When somebody says, hey, tell me about yourself. The first thing we do is tell them what we do, but what we do is not who we are. Who we are is something that doesn't change. You know, I'm a son to X, Y, and Z. I'm a husband to X, Y, and Z. I'm a father to X, Y, and Z. Like the values that you have that make up who you are, the positions that you hold, the responsibilities that you have in regards to the people in your life. Those are what we should identify with more. So hopefully, in this moment where she is away, she can realize that being a stay-at-home mom is wonderful if you really invest in doing exactly that. But if you want to get a job, then get a job because you want to work or you need to work for your family, whatever the case may be. But don't get it because you feel lost. Because what if you get that job and then you lose that job? You'll be back at square one again. Oh my God, I'm lost all over again. I can't figure my left foot from my right. But
you know, she needs to go watch Doctor Strange. You know, when he got in that car accident, he messed them hands up. Couldn't do surgery no more, man.
Yeah,
tore his life apart.
Yeah, his shaking is just like it was. Yeah, and then
because that was it. That was who he was.
Yeah.
Don't touch my hands, man. What do you mean? This is what I do.
Yeah.
Until they're gone.
Until they're gone. And I think that's a good way to drop it off right there. Ain't nobody trying to be around kids for that long.
They found that out during the pandemic, didn't they? These teachers ain't lying, are they?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech. Thank you so much for doing it. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Want to just shout out OTTO. Peace and blessings to you as well as Tech Coach Ralph. There you go. Allergies. Well, I want to thank you both for rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech. And for everybody else that tuned in, and we appreciate you as well. This is Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Yeah, peace and elbow grease.